Good morning, everybody. Today is the day you've all been waiting for. I am going to be doing my solo 30-kilometer hike across London. Woo! Yes! Support from the team. I'm currently in the studio. We've got Deja Shu over here. This is her lovely space.
Hello everyone, welcome.
It actually looks really nice. And then Leah's also here.
So good to see you guys.
Once again, I have invited friends on this hike and they always say
I would come, but I need to shave my underarms.
I really want to go, but I need to walk my dog today.
So this is going to be yet another solo hike, but I'm actually looking forward to it. And what's really exciting, first and foremost, is that I have a new hiking backpack, which I'm going to show you. But before I do, I'd like to introduce the sponsors of today's video, Surfshark.
Surfshark are a VPN which stands for Virtual Private Network. It's something that we should all be having on our devices now, as it turns our internet connection private, which hosts a whole bunch of benefits, such as preventing hackers from entering our devices. When we're connected to public Wi-Fi networks, like in an airport or in Starbucks, for example, hackers can enter in on our devices via that connection. But with Surfshark switched on, it acts as a virtual shield on your connection, preventing any hackers from entering in and stealing our all-important data. What a private connection also allows is for you to change the virtual location of your device. So if you've ever had an error message reading that this service or media is not available in your country, you can use Surfshark to change your virtual location to a country where the service is available, and with the click of a button, that service will then be available to you. Surfshark is one of the only VPNs that allows access on an unlimited number of your devices, so I'm protected on my phone, laptop, and my iPad wherever I go in the world. And finally, Surfshark are giving you guys an incredible discount of 83% off and an extra 3 months for free when you use my code backpacking or using the link in the description.
So this is my new hiking day backpack. I bought it from Cotswold Outdoors just the other day and I'm very excited about it. I actually had my eye on this one online for a while. It's the Deuter Futura SL 21 litres, and the reason that I picked it was, one, because of the colour. I just absolutely love the light blue colour. I feel like a lot of hiking day backpacks have just very garish colours and I'm just not a big fan, whereas I thought this one was just quite understated and very, very pretty. But also, and more importantly, I absolutely love all the features and the pockets on this backpack. So firstly, it has this kind of stretchy mesh on the outside, which is where I keep my raincoat, which is going to be particularly helpful when the raincoat gets wet and it needs to dry off. It has a pocket right on the top in the front here, which is where I can keep all my things like my phone, my purse, my medication, anything that's just like bitty and I need quite handy. Then of course we have the main big section of the backpack, which is, you know, large, and it has the most of the space, and it also has a pocket in the back where you can put a water bladder reservoir, and then the H2O pocket where you can have the tube which comes round. I don't have one of those today. I actually need to buy one for our trip to the Three Peaks next week. It has a water bottle pocket on each side. I'm just keeping some sun cream in there today. The strap system of the backpack, I don't know the correct terminology for this, it has like this gap in the middle which is quite nice, and this is like a stretchy bouncy mesh. It basically means that the backpack sits away from your back so that it's comfortable but you also don't get super sweaty. And finally, something that I always look for in my hiking backpacks is it has a waterproof rain cover. This one is bright green. Hopefully I won't use it today because the weather is looking good, but that can come across the entire backpack if it starts to rain. And I find that not a lot of hiking day backpacks actually have that feature, so that was something that I was specifically looking for, and I'm super pleased that I found it within this backpack. This is what it looks like when it's on.
Lovely.
A brand new backpack getting taken out on its first adventure. And today I'm just wearing a Gymshark crop top, Lululemon shorts, hiking socks, and then I will be wearing my lovely trusty hiking boots as usual. These are the Mindel Tram Lady GTX, which I got a couple of months ago, and I just absolutely love them. I've had no issues. They're so comfy, and I think they look nice, and I highly recommend. So this is the for today.
She's ready to go.
She's ready to go. Look at this breakfast of champions.
Would you say that was an excellent job?
We've got a feta omelette. Feta and chicken, like little chicken pieces as well.
Yeah.
We've got vegetable couscous, chopped cherry tomatoes, and some sliced avo.
Love that for you.
Love that. I'm not normally a breakfast person, but I'm already hungry and I'm doing a massive hike, and so it's very important that I fuel up nicely, and I think this is definitely going to do the trick. And I also just picked up these choc chip brunch bars from Waitrose as well as my snack for the hike. The last solo hike I went on, I brought so many snacks, and then I didn't even eat half of them. And also, I do anticipate that I'm actually gonna stop in a restaurant or a cafe along the way of this hike, because I'm gonna be hiking through London, so I know there's gonna be refreshment stops, which is really good. So I just got this just to keep me going when I feel like I need it. So the route that I'm going to do today is not any kind of official route. It's literally one that I pinpointed on Google Earth the other day, and it's basically gonna take me from central London all the way to Kingston, and then the plan at the end is to get a bus to Surbiton and then get a train back home. So I've got everything that I need with me in my day backpack. I'm thinking of starting by going through like Shoreditch and Brick Lane, which is somewhere I'm hoping to scout out a potential place to live. And then I'm gonna walk through the city of London, where I'll see like the Gherkin and all the big financial buildings. Then I plan on walking along the Thames with a view of the London Eye, through Westminster, past a very under construction Big Ben, then through St James's Park into Buckingham Palace. Then we're going to go into Hyde Park and Kensington Gardens, and then Holland Park, and then I'll slowly sift my way kind of through Hammersmith back to the Thames, walk along there, and then exit in a place where I'm going to get to Richmond Park. And then through Richmond Park, which is very, very big, all the way to Kingston. And I believe that whole thing is about 30 kilometres. I imagine it's going to be about 6 hours of walking is my guess, and then I'm going to take stops along the way. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it.
Bye, mate.
Bye, mate.
Need to walk my dog. Have a great time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I chose to start my hike in Shoreditch because I've decided that this is where I'm going to look to purchase my first property. I probably won't be able to afford the centre of Shoreditch, but somewhere in Hackney or East London Zone 2 is the area I absolutely love the vibe of and can see myself living. I made my way all the way down Brick Lane, which is one of the most iconic streets in London, before making my way through Aldgate to the City of London. I was really keen to walk right past the Gherkin, which is definitely my favourite of all the financial buildings. I love the shape and the shininess, if that's a word. It's a building I'd normally only ever see from afar, because honestly I'd have no reason to actually visit, so it was really cool to walk right up to it and see what it was like from the ground. Walking through the whole City of London with the towering skyscrapers above you really does make you feel tiny.
I feel like I'm so obviously a tourist because I'm just looking up the whole time like, they're so big.
Also, low-key having thoughts of downloading Tinder and setting the radius to 1 kilometre to see if I could bag myself a super rich businessman. I didn't, but next time, you know? Anyway, I spotted Leadenhall Market, so I thought I'd take a stroll through there. This was one of the Harry Potter filming locations, which is pretty swish. And then I thought I'd start heading towards the river.
So I'm now crossing over London Bridge. I have a view of the Shard out in front of me, and to the left I can see the Tower of London Bridge. So I've just bumped into Sarah, who's a viewer of the channel, which is so cool. And did you know I was going on a solo city hike at some point?
Yeah, I'd seen it on YouTube, and like I spotted you from like a while ago, and I was like, is that Christianne? And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to go and catch up with her now.
Oh, that was so lovely meeting Sarah. I feel like I never ever get spotted in the UK. I only really tend to get recognised when I'm in hostels in weird and foreign countries, so that was really nice. I've now come onto like well, almost at the South Bank Walk, going from London Bridge, and I think I'm going to walk to Millennium Bridge and then walk back over there to St Paul's. Like, I have a rough itinerary of today, but it's not exact at all. I am just making it up as I go along, which is quite fun. Like, if I see something that I want to like walk towards, I walk towards it. And it may mean that this is going to end up being longer than 30 kilometers, but that's okay. So if you don't know, this is what Millennium Bridge looks like, and it takes you all the way from the Tate Modern Museum all the way to St Paul's Cathedral. So that's where I'm going to head on now. This is the best photo spot if you want a cool London picture. You come here and you've got the beautiful London Eye in the background. Okay, I made it to Westminster and the Houses of Parliament. Unfortunately, the Big Ben still looks like complete and utter shite, but it's there, and I'm turning, and I'm actually going to be stopping soon for a break because I've just gone over 10 kilometers. The Prime Minister lives just around that corner at 10 Downing Street, and now we are moving on to the section of this hike where we're entering the parks. So for the first 10 kilometers I've been taking you through the city and the architecture and the big buildings, and now for the following 20 kilometers we are going to go through a lot of the various different beautiful parks that we have here in London, starting in St James's Park.
Saw you down the motorway. There was something about you that day. I can still hear the shimmering sound. The hill is near, let's get right up. Walk up to the very top. We couldn't tell.
So I've just found myself a cozy little spot in the park. I placed my water raincoat down to sit on. I'm going to take my shoes off. Just stopped off at a local little cute cafe that was in the middle of St James's Park. Definitely touristy and overpriced, but very, very convenient for where I was. And I got myself a hot dog and also a latte. It's very windy today, so I hope that you can hear me okay. Okay, so that was a lovely little half-hour sit down. I would have loved to have stayed longer, but I need to press on in order to finish this hike before the end of the day. So my first destination is going to be Buckingham Palace. I'm not going to go inside, I'm just going to walk past it.
Let's sit down, it's getting cold. All that glitter is not gold.
Buckingham Palace connects St James's Park to Green Park. So literally as soon as you walk past Buckingham Palace, you come into Green Park, which is where I am now. It's very, very nice.
I'm up for a kiss. I know it's tough.
And then Green Park connects you straight onto Hyde Park.
There are days when we all feel like we're messed up, but we know that we're all diamonds in the rough.
And then Hyde Park connects you directly onto Kensington Gardens. I just realised I've never actually told you why I'm doing this hike. So for the past couple of months I have been doing a lot of hiking training because I was due to go to Pakistan on 2 big hiking expeditions in September. Now, some news, unfortunately we have had to postpone the Pakistan trip because it's still on the red list, which would mean that we would have to mandatory hotel quarantine on coming back home, and obviously that's not something that we're gonna want to do. So we have postponed the trip to August next year, which means that, I mean, I have a whole nother 11 months to train. I don't regret the training that I've done so far. All I see it as is an opportunity to get even more trekking fit. Now you may be wondering, oh, does that mean that any more places are available? And the answer to that is yes. There will be more places available on the Pakistan trip because unfortunately not everyone who signed up to come in September is able to come in August next year. So we will be opening up the bookings again, but I will keep you updated on that. If you are interested in coming to Pakistan next year, make sure you sign up your interest on the Pakistan page on my website. I will link it down below, and then you could be in with a chance of coming if you wish, which would be super, super cool. But yeah, I'm just walking through Kensington Gardens now. I can see Kensington Palace in the distance, and then we will be leaving the park, and then I really need a wee, so I'm going to find a toilet somewhere. And this right here is Kensington Palace. Now there seems to be a lot of people outside queuing to go inside. I'm not too sure if there's an event or if that is somewhere that people normally go inside, but that is a long queue. Now up here is the gateway to Holland Park. Now I'm not going to go all the way in and up because it's a little bit off route for me for where I'm heading to next, but I just wanted to show you the sign and show you that it is a park that I'm passing past as well. So I've just met Tala, and hello Tala, and your son? Who's just here, who just saw me filming, and she thought we'd give her a banana and has offered to help me film some of my vlog today, and she's got a banana in her bag, and so we're going to get a shot of me with the banana hiking. Oh, you look like a crazy monkey. Do you want a banana? No! That was so much fun meeting Tala. Tala, if you're watching this, hi, it was so lovely to meet you. What a fun encounter. I absolutely loved that. That's really given me a spring in my step. Now, the next stretch of my walk is probably the most boring. I'm just walking along a main road, pretty much all the way from Kensington to Hammersmith. I don't know how long it's gonna take, probably like 20 minutes or so. I considered getting a bus just down this road just to, you know, speed up the process, but then I was like, nah, you know what, let's just walk it, let's just get it over and done with and press on to the Thames, to press on to hopefully eventually Richmond Park.
I ended up stopping for around 45 minutes in Starbucks in Hammersmith. I was only at 18.3 kilometres and did want to wait until 20, but my phone was rapidly running out of battery, so this was a way I could charge my phone.
Okay, we are back on the walk. I think I stopped for about 45 minutes charging my phone and just resting my legs, and I'm now on the Hammersmith Bridge, which is quite cool actually because it's closed for cars, and so it's just quite quiet and peaceful. There's just walkers and cyclists, and what I'm going to do now is join the Thames path again as we go round to Mortlake. I hope you can hear me okay, because at some point along that Thames path my wind muff has fallen off my microphone. So yeah, I really hope the sounds are going to be okay, and hopefully I can order another wind muff off Amazon soon and that it's not going to be too spinny. But on a brighter note, the Thames path is absolutely beautiful, super peaceful. My legs are really starting to feel it now, and I think, well, I've done 24.2 kilometres and I've realised that the whole hike is going to be 31 kilometres, so that means that I've got 7k to go, and I'm just in two minds whether I push through the pain of the fact that my legs are aching, or whether I do one more stop before I finish, like maybe somewhere in Richmond Park. I don't know, I feel like I'll probably just end up pressing on, but my legs are feeling it. I guess I have saved the best until last. Richmond Park is the biggest park that I am visiting today. Also, a girl just passed me with a Red Bull backpack, and she was like, do you want a free Red Bull? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I've got myself a free Red Bull to keep me re-energised for the final part of my hike.
I was really keen to try and spot some of the deer in Richmond Park, as I know there are lots that live here, but you don't always see them. Luckily for me, after about 10 minutes of walking into the centre of the park, I found what seemed like all the deer. I was so stoked. There were absolutely hundreds of them. They were so peaceful, just chilling there in the middle of the park. A few of them seemed a bit curious as to who I was and gave me a good stare down, but the majority of them seemed very unbothered and carry on with their evening without a care or a stress.
In the distance, and I wonder if that's Kingston, because I think I'm just over 3 kilometres away now. Legs are really hurting. You know, when you get to the point where you're like, I am gonna need to stretch after this. This could be bad news tomorrow. Richmond Park in the borough of Richmond, and I'm leaving it now in the borough of Kingston. So that's exciting, walking through boroughs. Now I just need to make my way to the train station or the bus station. I haven't quite figured that one out yet.
It took me about 20 minutes to walk into the centre of Kingston to finally bring me to my final destination, which was the D2 bus stop in Kingston. Seems like a bit of an underwhelming finished destination, but to me it was special because it was where I could hop on a bus to Surbiton station and then get a train back home.
It's now actually 2 days later, and I am sitting in my pyjamas at 5 p.m, still absolutely exhausted from the hike. Luckily, I haven't been too stiff, but my legs have just felt heavy, and I haven't stopped eating. I burnt over 2,000 calories on that hike, and you best believe that I consumed them all back almost immediately. But speaking of stats, here is how it went. The total distance was 30.3 kilometres, though zooming in, it did look like it accidentally paused for a small section in Richmond Park, so that's probably more like 31 kilometres. My total walking time was 6 hours, 16 minutes and 54 seconds, which made my average pace 12 minutes and 26 seconds per kilometre, which I'm really pleased with, and the elevation gain was 108 metres, which might sound like a lot, but over 30 kilometres, that's actually not very much at all, and I would say that the walk was actually incredibly flat. I didn't notice any hills in particular at all, really. But yeah, I feel very accomplished. I'm really glad that I did it. I didn't get too bored, and I met some lovely people along the way, so thank you for following along. Even though I'm not going to Pakistan in September anymore, the hiking and the fitness training is still going to continue. I'm seeing this as an opportunity to get even fitter and challenge myself in different ways. Someone in the comments of my last hiking video mentioned doing the 3 Peaks challenge, or the Yorkshire 3 Peaks challenge, so I'd really love to give that a go at some point. I'd also really like to do some hiking in Cornwall and Scotland, but anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!